We're here with Dominique Crenn, and excited to interview such a talented, beautiful, fun, great chef. So maybe we'll start with something that is just getting some attention. Chef's Table, the new season on Netflix. Uh, how do you feel about it? Was it fun doing, and have you already been able to see an impact on the business and attention?
Well, it was absolutely a lot of fun to do and to pour your heart to million and million of viewers. It's I think it's this show was very empowering for myself and also for my team, but also it's making a lot of impact on a lot of people, which I've been getting a lot of email and really inspiring emails. So it's nice when you are able to tell your story to the world, but also you have an impact to the way they think about you and maybe themselves, and you might change other people's life. And yeah, it's been great. As far as business been busy, but since the show has been busier. I mean, quite crazy, but it's lovely. It's lovely to be able to welcome others to my home that perhaps wouldn't if they didn't see the show. So.
And I guess it's not just the Netflix show. You also just received the award of best female chef in the world. So that will
Tonight.
tonight, but
Tonight.
people already know about it, and
Yes.
it will be even more well known later, and that should
Yes.
have an impact. In terms of females in the kitchen, it still seems that females are underrepresented in comparison to men. Do you think that's changing, or is it still?
Well, I mean, it's interesting. So this award for me was interesting, and but I realized that this is also a platform and to bring awareness to the industry and to the media that we are also here, and then we are also chefs that deserve also recognition. And I hope in a couple of years it will be just an award for best chef. And but it's a part of the discussion and the dialogue. So those awards allow us to keep the conversation open. In the kitchen, there's a lot of amazing women in the kitchen, and we need to pay attention to them also. Um, but it's like everywhere, I think it's all finding the balance and bringing people together. It's about unity instead of alienation. So I just want to I have a voice today, and I want to thank the Academy for allowing me to be a part of this award. And I'm just speaking very loud that this award is for anyone in the world, woman or even men, that want to be the person they want to be, and this is they can do anything they want. So I dedicate it to anyone that want to receive this award and just think about desire and dedication, because this world is an open world and you can do anything you want. So just believe in yourself and be confident. Doesn't matter of your gender, doesn't matter of your religion, doesn't matter of anything. You are human. You can succeed if you want to. So.
Can you tell us a little bit about Atelier Crenn? And then you were just telling me about Little Crenn in the restaurant that you just opened your second restaurant. What differs? What makes them unique in their own ways?
Well, Atelier Crenn is an homage to my dad and my father, and it's full of poesy. It's full of art. It's about a place where people come together, from the team to the customer. It's an experience. It's a story. It's me sharing my life and my art to people through food. It's a conversation. It's a dream come true, basically. Petit Crenn is an homage to the woman in my life, which was my grandmother, and my mother is still alive. And it's about also create a place where, a home where people like you can come and have dinner and feel that you're at home, and it's not just a restaurant. It's a welcoming place where you can just sit at the bar and eat vegetable and have a great seafood platter, or and just talk to the cook or the chef, or just talk to the sommelier, and just have fun and smoke the fire and like smell the fire, because everything it's cooked over the wood fire, and very simple place, but very happening place. So away, a home away from home. Both of them. One is a little bit more expensive and more demanding than the other, because you have to spend maybe more time at Atelier Crenn, and but it's an extension of my hospitality to you. So
And you have been in San Francisco, and your two restaurants are in San Francisco. Have you thought of doing anything in Europe, being closer to, your to where you're from, to France, and then to us in London?
well, I don't know. I mean, I think is I never plan anything. Things come to me as organically. So, I mean, I'm not ruling out anything. I love London. I spent most of when I was in Brittany, when I spent a lot of vacation in Brittany, I fell in love also with London, and I used to go there. We used to have exchange students, and just I love the British accent, and London is a city that I fell in love with, and they're so smart and they're so innovative, and so the weather is getting better, but yeah, it's a lovely city. I am very fond of it. So
I hope you do something there.
Petit
So,
Crenn, maybe a little Petit Crenn over
all right.
there.
Yes, please. In terms of your French, and how did you receive the news that restaurants that are very well renowned around the world, such as Le Chateaubriand and Les Trans, have been voted out of the top 50 this year?
um, I mean, it's once again, it's just a list, and things are moving around, and I think I want people to know that it's not because you're on the top 50 or you're on the top uh, 100, or even you're not on the list, that you less or better than others. I think it's just a list, and I think this is the way that perhaps the culinary world is moving, and maybe next year they will be on the list. Or I don't think people should take too much attention to that. I think it's just you should be very proud to be just nominated or just be on the list. Those restaurants are amazing. I mean, Las Trans is probably one of the best restaurants in the world in my book, but it's just my own, liking. And Chateaubriand is also great. Inaki is amazing, and it's not about the numbers. It's I don't know why people will make such a big deal out of it. So I'm not on the list. I'm just, I just got an award, and I'm not on the list yet. And do I want? Maybe I will be one day. I don't know. But I mean, it's just to be able to have a platform. It's just amazing.
You're well known for experimentation and pushing your dishes, developing, being very creative. How would you say how far have you pushed it? And if you had to tell us about like one dish that you say, you know what, I pushed this far, I'm so proud of this I created.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because I do not believe in perfection. I believe in evolution. So anything I push for, there is always another push. I think it's a part of my belief how I want to live life. And if I live life through my food, is we have to evolve every time, and we get to push hard to create something perhaps that some people don't understand, but that's okay. Um, but it's all about evolution, and I think today I have an incredible team that allow me to push farther than I ever did, and I hope I can. I don't know. I don't know how far I can go, but I want to do that for the rest of my life. So
And I guess your dishes sometimes are compared to poems, and I would imagine poems take a long time to write. So is there a case
that's
that
not
that's
true.
not true? Sometimes they're quick.
No, sometimes they're very quick. I think it's yeah. I've been writing poetry since I was the age of 4, and I think it's a way of expressing myself, and sometimes it just come out very fast. I remember last we just changed the menu for spring, and then it's going a little bit the end of spring right now, and I had to rewrite the poem in the course of one day, and I just wrote it, and then they were like, did you write that? And I'm like, yes. So I think it's a feeling. Sometimes, I think when you write poetry, it needs to be organic. If you want to sit and write a poem and spend a month on it, then it's not a poem anymore. It's like writing a song or writing, words in a book. I mean, you have to write. It needs to be fluent, fluid. If it's not fluid, then just go away and just drink it, have a glass of rosé, and maybe you can go back to that.
And talking about poetry and writing, completely different to what's happening right now with social media and how much attention people seem to be focusing on photographing, tweeting, telling the whole world. Do you find that attention positive, or do you think it detracts sometimes from people's experiences and actually enjoying the food?
Yes, I think we live in a world of instant gratification where everything is there and the picture and all that. And I want people to realize that we need to come back to a place where we need to connect. We need to talk to each other. We need to write with each other. If you come to dinner, just leave your phone at home or leave your phone in your bag and um, just have an interaction with the person that you are with or just with the food that you're eating. It's so powerful to at that moment of just be. And I want people to be conscious about this. Social media there is pros and cons, but when it comes to that, what we're going to be in a few years from now, we get married, we have kids, and then suddenly we don't talk to our children. We go home, we don't cook food anymore, we just watch TV, and we need to go back to a place where we need to reconnect and just be and really listen to each other. The world will be a better world if we do that. So, and I want to also say something that has nothing to do with the hour today, or maybe yes, I want people to realize that we need to come back together and unify and those just terrible thing that just happened in Orlando that is terrible. We need to live in a world where we need to respect each other. We need to listen to each other, and that's why we need, to that be and perhaps social media destroying a sense of connecting also. And you know what? This award is for those people in Orlando that just got killed with this crazy man that I don't understand. So this award is for them.
That's amazing. I think that's
You're
really
welcome.
important. And just one last question. We were chatting a little bit
I'm
before.
gonna be like crying right now. I'm like so emotional.
No, but that's great. That's special. No, it's
So
thank you. And in terms of, we were talking about South America a little before, and I'm Brazilian, so I like hearing that. And you said you think a lot of the trends will be coming from South America and inspiration and a new wave of culinary from there. Can you just share a little bit of your
I
thoughts on
I
trends and what you're seeing?
I mean, I always, when I've moved to the United States, I always thought that South America was an incredible hub of everything, of art, philosophy, of food. And I traveled to Mexico, I traveled to Colombia, I was in Costa Rica. Um, I've never been to Brazil, and I want to be. I think it's South America is just the core of everything. I think the inspiration that's going to come there. And what I love about it, they're very personal, and they are so rich with themselves, and they just bring food and also story that we don't know, and it's so fascinating and it's so rich to me. So um, I'm for South America. I'm for everyone from there. So I think I'm a South American too.
We have the Latin roots, so we share.
I think so. I feel very connected to those people because they have. When I spend time in Colombia, they are so real and they have so much love in their country. And I always say that food is the core of the society, and they really take that so seriously. And I love that because you can't lose who you are as a culture and do other people food. You have to do the food of where you come from, and that's what is gonna show what the country is about. That's what Alec does, and that's what Elena does at Manny and Enrique and Vigelio. I mean, there's so many incredible chefs and cook and just people, that doing some amazing things there. So, yes, I am for South America.
Thank you.
You're
We can't
welcome.
wait to see what you say tonight. I
Okay,
think
awesome.